June is talking about her experience of prejudice and how we should all tackle it straight on. June, it's great to see you.
Hi, Lorraine.
And thank you for this. Thank you for this. This is really good because so many of us are tiptoeing around.
Yep.
We don't know what to say, June.
Yep.
We really don't. We're always there's always this fear of, oh, is that person going to be offended? Is that person going to be offended? And this is like, no, actually, sensible.
Yes, it is.
Very sensible.
And it's also very practical and it's honest that, you know, we've all been conditioned to be fearful of the other, whatever the other is for you. And it's about how do we, number one, acknowledge that, number two, make sure that we address it, and then find better ways to connect with people that are different to ourselves, because actually there's so much that we're all missing out on because of that.
That's very, very true. What do you want people, when they read this book, when they pick it up and read it, what do you want them to take away?
Yeah, two things. The first thing is to understand what it feels like to be discriminated against.
Right.
Whether that be because of your race, whether that be because of your gender, your sexual orientation, disability, age, whatever that is, and to understand what a painful experience that is, but at the same time to then look at what we can all do to address it. And then it's about why it's better for us all. Inclusive societies work better.
No, they absolutely do. Of course they do. Makes perfect sense. We were just talking about Singapore and how that works there.
Exactly.
Because everybody just gets on with it. It's a tiny wee place, all different religions, all different
races, and they just make it work,
But in your career, now I was really shocked by this because there's the fact that when you worked at MTV, which I thought cool, you know, fantastic, really right on and all of that.
It was those things.
It was, but there was a photo shoot with all the women. And you weren't in it.
So this was 20 years ago. It was for a magazine called Sky Magazine. Do you remember Sky Magazine?
Yeah, actually.
And so basically MTV arranged a shoot with all of the female presenters. And the funny thing was, Lorraine, at the time, I had one of the highest rated shows on the network. And they didn't include me. And then it later transpired that actually it wasn't even the magazine, it was our team there that hadn't thought I was appropriate for a beauty shoot.
Wow, and that was purely because of the colour of your skin? Jeez, and that's not that long ago.
No, that's 20 years ago.
Now, the thing is with you, you can either take that and somehow try and deal with that. I don't actually know how you do that. I mean, I've had a little tiny bit of that just because of being a woman in a kind of man's world, not anymore though. But how you get over that and how you use that to be stronger?
Well, I think what we have to realise is it's not personal. It's about the way we've all been conditioned. And until we can start having honest conversations around this stuff, nothing changes. So for me, I wasn't, you know, I was young at the time, so I was hurt and I was upset. But as somebody who's grown now, I can look at it and not be angry, but to say, OK, now that's happened, let's talk about it. Even with the Liam Neeson situation, I think we have to have the conversation.
Yes, that was a disappointment, and he was very silly and he was a bit of an Egypt. But at the same time, it did get people talking about something that we're all, again, tippy-toeing around because we don't want to say anything that's going to offend. Because if you do, you get slaughtered.
Yes, particularly now with social media. You say the wrong thing and straight away. But I think what we have to realise is the problem with discrimination and otherising, seeing somebody as different, is it means that you amplify the negative. So Liam Neeson doesn't see Nelson Mandela and think, oh, every black man is like Nelson Mandela. But you hear a story of one bad one and you assume it represents everybody. And I think that's why we have to really look at what this stuff is, because you dehumanise people when you think in those terms.
Do you think everybody inherently has got some sort of prejudice?
I don't think inherently. I think everybody has been conditioned to.
I
don't think it's natural. Children show us it's not natural.
Indeed they do.
We've been conditioned to, but we as adults have the choice to uncondition that.
And how, I mean, you're tackling it by the work that you're doing, and this is a very, very well, I know you spent years working on this to make sure that it's absolutely right. And it's not just about, you know, people who are different colours, it's about people, it's about people who are discriminated for their sexuality. It's all different
disability,
things.
Gender, all of it. Class, obviously we're in the UK, that's a big one.
Huge, absolutely. Do you know what, that's a thing that we don't really talk about, and that's a really, really interesting one.
That might be the biggest in this country. In America, I think it's race. Here, I think it's actually class.
No, I think you're absolutely right, especially when I was starting off my career, I definitely got that.
Me too. Yeah. Yeah.
Because you went from the top drawer.
Yeah.
it's
Proudly not from the top drawer.
Exactly. So silence is not an option.
It's
That's not what we have to do.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't move things forward. It doesn't change anything. And also, it's about making sure we create a space where people can ask the difficult questions and that we don't judge people straight away. We allow those uncomfortable conversations to be had.
No, very much so. And I mean, as a woman in a man's world, which I guess most of us are, do you think things are getting better? Because I do. Sure. I am actually quite optimistic about it.
I'm 100% with you. Yeah. I think, you know, when I look at my story versus my mother's, there's no way my mother could have had my career.
Right.
So just in one generation, you see how progress is happening.
No, very much so. And we've got a lot more choice now. I mean, because you've been very open about the fact that one day you might want children.
Yes.
So you've frozen your eggs.
I do.
And you've frozen
I recommend
Do you think young women should do that?
I do. Or we should at least advise young women on the options to say, if you want children biologically, there is a clock, and you have to figure out when it is you want to have them. And if you want to defer it and wait later, then this is also an option.
Sure, just keep your options
Again,
open.
about being honest. The problem is we pretend, and it's like there is a biological clock. It's real.
It is real, and you have to deal with it. And but again, we've got choices that our mothers didn't have.
Totally.
We really do. June, you're a joy.
Oh, always good to see you.
And Diversify's out now?
Yes, it is.
It's a handbook for these troubled times. They are troubled times, but actually I found this really not just enlightening, it actually made me feel optimistic.
Yeah, hopeful. That's
it really
what I wanted
did.
it to be.
And that's what we need.
Brilliant.
More power to you. Thank you, my love.
Lorraine.
Thank you so much.